you're late.
A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
No films have ever drawn me as much into their world as the Lord of the Rings trilogy. There's something magical about the design of Middle-earth that makes it feel so tangible and true. It's staggering to think of all the work that went into making Middle-earth real, from set building, to props, to miniatures and visual effects. But what I want to focus on is the incredible amount of world building and characterization that went into the Lord of the Rings costume design.
And the Oscar goes to Nyla Dixon and Richard Taylor for The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
Rather than going with a major Hollywood design company, Peter Jackson decided to go with local New Zealand effects and design company Weta Workshop, who were relatively unknown at the time. Heading up costume design for the Lord of the Rings trilogy were Nyla Dixon and Sir Richard Taylor. They certainly had their work cut out for them in designing the clothing of Tolkien's world. Not only were there several different races, such as hobbits, men, dwarves, and elves for them to design for, but each race had different cultures as well, such as the men of Rohan and Gondor, and the elves of Rivendell and Lothlorien. Not only that, but the sheer number of costumes that needed to be designed for actors, as well as body doubles, stunt doubles, and extras, numbered over 19,000.
As you can see, there's a few frocks in this wardrobe department.
To inspire the design team, Jackson told them that they would be filming these true historical events in the same historical places where they had actually happened, and that the costumes would need to be true to what the historical figures actually wore. It was this dedication to presenting Middle-earth as a true historical world that gives it the depth and realism that it has. Dixon and Taylor committed themselves to creating costuming that would be authentic to each of these characters and cultures. The clothing of the hobbits was one of the biggest tasks. It was important to make them seem believable while also being somewhat strange. As the hobbits are a pastoral people, they dressed them in mainly the fall colors of green, yellow, and brown. They were given buttons that were too big and pockets that were too high to accentuate the smallness of the creatures. The sleeves and pant legs were made with odd proportions in order to bring a sense of strangeness to the eye. The elves, on the other hand, are magnificent, almost angelic creatures. Dixon wanted to make them feel as if they were simply floating over the earth, not truly belonging there. In doing so, she gave them long flowing robes and dresses made of the finest silks and shimmering threads. Gandalf's hat was another major project. Dixon spent weeks working with her team on perfecting it and making it feel like the right balance of impressive, magical, and ancient, while not being too overwhelming. She recalls the magical moment that Sir Ian McKellen tried on the hat for the first time, and it felt like Gandalf was suddenly in the room. Dixon and Taylor were also able to work an incredible amount of characterization into the costumes. They added an immense amount of detail and intricacy into the costumes that spoke volumes about each of the individual characters. Their goal was that layer by layer, as the actors were putting on their costumes, they would feel themselves actually becoming their characters. For example, Aragorn's costume was made to be durable and flexible, fitting for a ranger of great travel. It also had many imperfections and stitchings where it can be assumed he did his own work in repairing his garment over time. They also wove in pieces that alluded to a suppressed identity of royalty. For Denethor's costume, they wanted to bring out this incredible sense of wealth and vanity, but they also dressed him in chainmail to hint at this repulsive idea that he considered himself a soldier. It's this dedication to being true to the identity of each character that elevates the costume design to another level, but also makes it fit so well. We don't question what the characters are wearing because it feels authentic to what they would naturally wear. Not only this, but it hints at a grander story beyond that which we see on screen. Costume design can be a rather thankless job, as if you did your job well, the audience might not even notice it. As Dixon has said, the less people notice the details of the costume, the better job we did in a sense, because that means the costumes have helped to completely absorb you in the story. It's this dedication to creating costumes that completely absorb you into the world of the story that gives Middle-earth the incredible amount of scope and history that it has. And it's just one of the things that has made The Lord of the Rings a masterpiece. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you see and you want to see more, feel free to subscribe, and comment down below what you love about The Lord of the Rings, or any other films that transport you into their world. Alright, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.